Hello lovely people, welcome back. I'm hopping on today to bring you a much promised from quite some time ago tour of my Substack and also a behind the scenes of my Substack for those of you that might be interested in joining Substack, having a membership or running a membership on Substack, working out ways that it could fit into your business plan. Some of you might even be interested in running a Substack just as a hobby. I also thought it would be a good time to show you around, not just because I have been mentioning this Substack in the very few videos that I've put out this year, but also because it is some kind of explanation. It's a good part of an explanation as to why I haven't been on YouTube that much this year, as I am finding Substack a much more easeful part of my business now. I have learned quite a lot about it and I've become really comfortable with producing the content for it, coming up with the direction that I want it to go in, all of that type of thing. I'm now finding that I'm getting a little bit more free time in which to come back onto YouTube and talk about business and money, but also use YouTube as a way of marketing this other thing that I have got going on that might be really useful to some of you. The first thing I think I'm going to show you is what my Substack looks like to a member, to someone who has joined my Substack. What is it that you can actually see at your end, at the user end? Okay, so here we are then. Welcome to Sparrow's End Clubhouse, which is the name of my Substack. I run my Substack as a membership, which means I have like regular subscribers who can access some of the content that I produce on here, but I also have paid content on here as well. What I'm going to show you first is how it all looks on desktop, and I would recommend this to anyone who subscribes or becomes a member, either or, it doesn't really matter. I would advise that you come onto the Sparrow's End Clubhouse desktop site because it's much easier to get a clearer picture of what it's all about. Substack itself started as a newsletter platform and was mainly used by journalists, and then that kind of spread out into writers. It's a free place that you can hold a very simple email list, which is one of the things that attracted me to it in the first place. You can have a couple of payment tiers on here for any content that you want to keep behind a paywall. And now that they've introduced audio content and video content and just lots and lots of new features, there is a social media strand called Notes on it, which is growing in popularity. All of these things have made the site itself much more appealing to people like me who aren't just producing written content and whose main content is perhaps audio or visual instead. And whilst it is not by any means perfect, it offered enough features for me to think it was worth giving it a go. I had quite fancied running a membership of some sort, but I didn't really want to pay to test it out. I wanted to be able to test it out for free because, well, you guys have seen my income and my budget. So let's have a look at what's on here then. So you get 2 or 3 different ways that you can arrange the layout of what is essentially your website on Substack. I've got a pinned article here which just kind of stays there in the middle. I probably ought to update that to a different one. And then I've got my most recent 4 videos on here. I think videos with I'll show you in a minute, but they're videos with like a short kind of written post underneath them. This is all my homepage. You've got the most popular posts along here. Then it is categorized into the different types of content that I produce on here. So creative income reports. I produce an income report every month. I also tend to do quarterly income reports. I've got a mid-year one here is my most recent one. Every month I sit down and plan out my different goals for the month, and I talk those through with all of my members as well. I also, in the middle of the month, just do a sit down chatty catch up with how things are going and give everybody a sense of the behind the scenes of my business. I Also have some vlogs on here as well, and members also get early access and ad-free YouTube videos, so you can see my most recent YouTube videos are on here. And if you want to get them early or you don't want the ads in them, then this can be a good way of doing it. I've then got some different polls where I just ask my members for their opinion on things. I've got some spending diaries. I've also got, there's other bits and pieces of content as well that don't fall into these categories, but this is how I keep things organized. So for example, if you click on the see all part of Chatty Catch Up, you can see all of them on here. There's quite a few. I think there's now over 100 pieces of content on here, which obviously you can go through at your leisure. You do not have to catch up urgently or straight away, but there is a whole library of things on here for you to have a little look through if anyone joins at this point. Let's have a look at the creative income reports. So you can see there's over a year's worth of these now. You can see how my different thumbnails and things have changed. I think actually the first 2 or 3 of them are, I think the first 4 of them are written reports, and then I realized it was a lot easier to share them as or in a video format. That tends to be what I find the quickest and easiest thing for me to do. So quite a few videos there and a few written reports. But yes, those are all of the things that you can access on the home screen. If you click on podcast, there aren't any posts on here as yet. It's something that I would like to add into the Clubhouse at some point soon-ish, but for now that bit is blank. I've also got along here tabs to the businesses that I publicly share with people, so my vintage shop on Etsy, and also obviously my YouTube channel that we are all on at the moment. So this is basically everything that I've ever published on here. So if you really wanted to make sure that you didn't miss anything and that you caught up on everything, you could just scroll all the way to the bottom and kind of work your way back up to the top. But it's being very slow at loading everything today, and there's quite a lot in here to load. And then there's just a little about section here, which goes over the different things that you get. So access to a members only group chat, access to my financials from income reports to spending plans, and also spending diaries from time to time as well. 4 exclusive videos per month, weekly co-working sessions. It says on Zoom here, we're currently using Google Meet, but I am going to be switching to Zoom very, very soon. They are every Thursday, alternating between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. And that's just an opportunity for me and my members to just kind of work together at the same time. We usually just say at the beginning what it is that we want to get done in the hour and then get on with it. And it's really, really good for someone like me who's really distracted. It kind of keeps me sat in my chair getting my work done, because I know that that's what these other people are also doing at the same time. I'm going to be introducing, I think next month will likely be the first one, a listing blitz 3-hour session on Zoom. So this will be on a Monday, and it will be, I think, between 9 and 12, although I might push that back to between 10 and 1. I just need to double check what the international timings are on that. So this is a new thing, a new feature that's coming in. And the benefit of it is that most of the people who are already my members in some way, shape or form have to list products or services onto a platform. It could be their own website, it might be Etsy, eBay, Vinted, wherever. The idea is that we get together and we can chat over Zoom, we can get on with our work, we can kind of see that each other is working. And again, it's that mirroring effect that we will all be just getting a load of listings on for that month. I cannot wait for that to start, because it's going to make such a difference, particularly to my reselling business. You get voting privileges in polls when I kind of ask questions about my YouTube thumbnails. I might ask questions about things to do with my business, things to do with the Clubhouse itself and what people are enjoying, not enjoying, etc. Behind the scenes looks at plans, notebooks, goals, product designs, projects that I'm working on. First, access to product and course drops and launches. So I've got some products coming out soon. I've got a financial budget spreadsheet and some notebooks and planners and things, and there will be some discounts available to my members for those, and then obviously access to the library of the kind of back catalogue and things like that. And then I've just got under coming soon the exclusive shop discounts and digital downloads, because they haven't been embedded yet. But yeah, so those are all the things that you get, and that's what it looks like from this side of things. So let's take a look at my dashboard. Okay, so here we go then. We are at, these are my numbers. I have got 72 paid subscribers, so 72 members is how I refer to them. The annualized revenue, so what you would make over the course of a year from having those 72 members at the prices that I have set for my paid tier, is $3,578. I have a total of 781 subscribers. I have that very scary number next to it, minus 178 over the last 30 days. I promise I haven't been uploading really terrible content in the last 30 days. It's because I regularly go through my email list and I take a look at who hasn't opened an email for, I think I usually set it at the last 6 months or the last year, and anyone who just hasn't opened a single email, I tend to just remove them from the list, because it gives me a really false sense of how many people I have that are interested in the work that I'm doing. I'm not really interested in vanity metrics in that sense. I don't want to build up a really big number of subscribers, but then 50% of them aren't opening anything or aren't looking at anything. We are all so pushed for time that I really, really want my subscriber list to be a list of people who are actively interested in what I'm doing. They don't have to be paid members or anything. They just need to be people who are showing an interest in what I'm doing, in the sense that what I'm saying and what I'm producing is interesting to them or helpful to them. I've picked up 72 subscribers from the Substack app itself. Most of my subscribers just come from YouTube. So last 30 days, 4,164 views. I've got another video to upload this month, I've got 2 more actually. I've got the end of this week, and then I've got my income report that's coming out next week. That will start to kind of boost those views again. And my 30-day open rate is 55.29%. A lot of these details from the dashboard are probably more interesting to you if you already have a Substack or if you are thinking of starting one. There's not much else to show on here. The recent posts, it tells me how many views different things have got, what the open rate is on things, whether I've got new paid subscribers. I really do recommend it. I haven't come up against major problems with it. There are things that I hope get tweaked and changed, but I'm not going to talk about those in this video. Maybe if people prove to be interested in Substack as a business topic, I might talk about it a little bit more. It's a really great way of staying in touch with the people who are interested in you and interested in the work that you are doing. So yes, you can see that I've been sat there recording this with the microphone held in front of me. That is because it suddenly got really noisy out the front of my house. There are loads of just at the moment loads of trucks and lorries and tractors going past for various different businesses, and I was finding that it was so loud when I was recording that I had to kind of restart it and use a microphone, and I couldn't be bothered to clip it onto my top. So hopefully you've been able to hear me. I have a habit of waving my arms around when I speak, so I hope it hasn't affected the audio too much. Just wanted to finish off with talking about one main thing that I think I have realised about running a Substack. And again, if people are interested in this type of content, I can do some more videos about Substack. One of the most important things that I have realised though is that if you are running your Substack as more than a hobby and it becomes part of your business, you have to think really carefully about what it's offering people. I think this is true of anything that you kind of make or create that you want other people to be interested in, and Substack is no different. So if you are thinking of putting either just a newsletter together or a paid membership of some sort, I would think about the following things. I made a little list here of things that I am trying to ask myself about the content that I'm producing, and also the ways in which I want my Clubhouse, my membership, to actually help people. So you could be producing something because it's entertaining. It could be that what you're producing, or kind of what the features of your Substack are about support and encouragement for people. It could be that, like me, you are very happy to reveal what's going on behind the scenes of your business, or whatever it is that you are doing, just things that people don't always necessarily reveal. It could be that you are producing things that solve people's problems, and this is something that I want to incorporate more into my membership. My membership very much started as a place where people could get additional content from me, and it's gradually evolving into something that includes other things as well. And this idea of problem solving, of, you know, figuring out what people's stumbling blocks are and then trying to come up with solutions, is definitely part of that. I have picked up on some of the problems and struggles and things that my members have been having over the last, I mean, how long have I been doing this for? Maybe coming up for a year and a half now, over the course of that 18 months. And I'm starting to get ideas bubbling up for things that I can make / create / set up or do that would solve some of those problems that I have identified. So problem solving is a really, you know, kind of useful thing to have as part of your membership. It could be inspiration and motivation. People occasionally say that they are motivated and inspired by the things that I am sharing, that it makes it feel as though making money online or kind of sorting out your personal finances, that those things are doable for a kind of just a regular, ordinary person. You can offer discounts for products and things like that. That's something that's very much coming up in the next 6 weeks in my membership. And you can offer people, and again, this is something that just starting to embed in the Clubhouse, which is networking opportunities and just opportunities to sort of to build community. And the co-working sessions are a little bit like that, with people explaining the work that they're doing. It's giving everyone a sense of what kind of work and online businesses people are running. And it was really interesting that it might have even been the first co-working session, all of us were quite stunned that we were all doing very similar things. The co-working sessions, the listing blitzes, and some of the other ideas I've got for like little workshops and things, they all give people the opportunity to not just talk to me, but also it opens up opportunities to talk to each other as well. And so if community and networking is something that you think is a really good fit for the kind of business that you are running, then definitely a Substack of some sort, a membership or a newsletter, could work really well for you. I'm not going to say anything more about it. I have bent your ear for quite some time about Substack and about the membership. It has been an opportunity for me to showcase to you what it is that I'm doing over there, that we're doing over there as kind of as a membership group. But I also think it's worth sharing because it is something that a lot of you might be interested in adding into your own businesses. The other thing that I would say, or just emphasize, I think I've already said it, is to emphasize that it is somewhere that you can build a free email list. And you can go over 1,000 subscribers, and Substack doesn't charge you for that. It's not a sophisticated email service in the sense that you can't partition out your different subscribers and have waiting lists and things like that. But if all you want is to gather emails, it is perfect for that. if you have some KDP pen names, for example, and you want to gather email names for those pen names, those little kind of mini businesses that you have on KDP, but you don't want to have to start paying for that, then you could open a Substack out for each of those pen names, just as an example for how it could fit into a business. So yeah, loads and loads of ideas for how to use it, loads of things that I'm planning on introducing and adding to mine over the next year. The other thing I need to mention as well, which is really important, well, it's really important to anyone that is interested in joining mine, because mine's at the point where quite a lot of new features are being added into it, like over the last few weeks, and then the coming kind of 6 weeks, the listing blitzes and the co-working sessions and all of that. There's been a big influx in features added to it. The price is going up in September. I haven't even talked about how much it costs to join mine yet. You can set these prices, by the way, however you want them. You have a monthly price, and then you have an annual price. Most people discount the annual price. That's what I do. Mine is currently either £6 a month or £35 for the year. You stay on that payment plan even if I increase the price. So when I increase the price of mine on the 1st of September, my existing subscribers will only ever pay what they signed up for. Some of them signed up right at the beginning when it was £25 for the year. They've already seen like a £10 annual increase that they don't have to pay. And if the ones that have signed up at £35, when it goes up to £50, which is what it's going up to, they are not going to have to pay that increase. I hope I've explained that. The only time that if you signed up at £35 and cancelled, when you go back into it, you pay the new price. Stay as a paid member in order to really feel the benefit of not having to pay those price increases. So yeah, so it's going up to, it will be more than £6 a month. I haven't fully settled on what that's going to be. It'll probably be like £8 to £10 a month, or £50 for the year. But yeah, you have control over that. I know people that run very technical, specialized paid podcasts on there, and they're charging like £800 a year for it. And yeah, you can do what you want. Which is what I have done. I've just kept looking at, how much value am I offering here? And I don't just mean in terms of how much stuff am I putting out to people, because that's the other thing to be aware of, is people's time is precious and they already have a whole ton of stuff to get through. There's podcasts, they might be watching other YouTube videos. There's so much content out there that you have to, I think, be aware that it probably can't just be content. And I think that's what I realized, that actually I wanted to build out something that was more sophisticated than that, and had community and had elements in it that was actually going to help people get their work done. And that's the direction of travel for my membership. Right, having said that I was going to stop talking about Substack 5 minutes ago, I actually am going to stop talking about it now. And if you have any questions, drop them into the comments box below. And if you do go ahead to start your Substack, then I wish you the very best of luck. It has been an absolute joy from start to finish for me, running a membership on Substack. So yes, good luck and enjoy yourselves.